If you're dazed and confused in your college days, then this is the show for you. We're going to cover how to make your rich Uncle Sam pay for you to study in another country, how to keep more money in your pockets every month, and other great topics. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to the College Daze Inland Empire Edition. I am your host, Seth Peterson. What is the College Daze? I'm glad you asked. You've just graduated high school or you're going back to school to get information for your career path, and man, can it be confusing. So, we put together this show to give you a few ideas of how to do just that. Have you ever thought about going abroad? Did you know that there's a ton of countries that want Americans to teach English as a second language to their people? All you've got to do is get your certificate first, but it's an amazing way to see the world and get paid doing it. There's a lot of information online out there to do some research on, but our first segment is going to give you something to think about and give you a starting place to studying abroad.
It's essential that students know that there is a possibility to study outside of the United States. It's first important to gather as much information as possible. The important thing is probably to meet with a counselor so that that can be folded into their educational plan. There's one semester in Salamanca, Spain that's always in the spring, and one semester to London in the fall. But there are many websites that list all the countries that are available and the different programs that different colleges and universities participate in, and they welcome students to apply. One is the Institute of International Education. It's iiepassport.org. There are numerous scholarships, probably they can fill a book, but for students to know about. These days, all you have to do is Google in study abroad scholarships, and there'll be a lot that will come up. After a student's been accepted to a study abroad program, it's so important to prepare. It's very important, however, for students to know that they must have a passport to travel outside of the United States.
Now, I did some research and I'm going to Poland. Got to get that passport and then I'm going to go check out some Polish girls. What? No, really, go check it out. They're really hot. The websites, of course. Come on now. Have you ever gone on a field trip when you were in elementary school to a museum? And as a kid, we thought about how cool it was to visit the dinosaurs, or it gave us a chance to dream about becoming an astronaut. Well, right here in San Bernardino, we have an awesome place to go look at our past, to see how the city was developed, and to tell you the truth, I hadn't been to this museum since I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, it was fascinating to see what people did before I was even thought of. Let's see what Jennifer Reynolds, the San Bernardino County Museum Media Director, has to say.
We think this is the best place to come if you are the least bit curious about your own backyard. We really focus on inland California and particularly our area. We think that both the cultural and natural history of inland Southern California is of particular interest to people who live here. We have special cell phone tours available to our visitors. And you just call a number on your cell phone and punch in the magic code and you can find out more information about each exhibit where there's a sign posted. At the same time, it also allows access to exhibits for people who might otherwise have disabilities that prevent them from getting right up close. When we talk about birds, we're talking about the birds that you can hear in the morning when you get up or that throw a shadow over you as you're walking down to school. When we're talking about mammals, we're talking about possums that you see in your backyard, as well as bears you see in the mountains. These special exhibits are all based on our collection. Other exhibits change every 3 to 6 months. We're standing right now in our Crossroads in History Gallery, for example, and the car behind me is a permanent part of this exhibit. To our other side is a special exhibit called Fabrics of Our Past, where you can see fashions from our collections that date from 1860 to 1960. And our history is all based on history that happened here. We're open Tuesday through Sunday from 9 to 5, and we're also open on holiday Mondays.
Man, I want that caddy. Who do I gotta see about that thing? I do not remember that information being in the cell phone tour, let me tell you. I guess I'm just gonna have to make another trip. And what about that bear? That thing was huge. It made me feel like I was a kid again, and that's really no small feat. Whoa, did you feel that? It must have been a 3.1, nah, a 5.6 on the old Richter scale. Did you know that California is on a fault line? And what should you do when it starts rocking and rolling? Well, our next guest is going to tell you exactly what to do. I'm going to go ahead and take some notes, because you never know when this info is going to come in handy or save your life. Feel free to get your own.
We're specifically here in Southern California today, and I am a spokesman for the Earthquake Country Alliance and the San Bernardino County Museum. I talk about every day to folks about the ground they're standing on. The ground that we stand on, or that we live on, that we've built our lives upon, is not done rocking and rolling. In fact, we haven't had a large magnitude earthquake in Southern California since 1857. What do we do when a large magnitude earthquake happens? The message is, prepare for a big earthquake. Prepare at home. Secure your space. Strap your stuff down. We create earthquake plans. We have earthquake supplies. We have way more water than you think you'll need. You know, at least 2 weeks worth of water for every person in your home, a gallon per person per day. Have a fire extinguisher. Know how to turn your gas off. And the survive part is this drill. That's where we teach stop immediately when the earth starts to shake, drop, cover, and hold on. We cover our heads and our necks, get ourselves as small as possible, and hold on if we possibly can. 9.4 million people in California dropped, covered, and held on in the largest earthquake drill in the entire world. So that's kind of an amazing thing to be part of, you know, kind of teaching a whole generation of people to do what they need to do to protect themselves in an earthquake. If you've prepared properly and you've survived this earthquake, then you can get up, dust yourself off, and you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you've done everything you can do up to that to recover and get on with your lives.
So, I took my notes. Now, I gotta make sure to have my water. I think she said at least 2 weeks worth. And just for good measure, I think I might bring a desk around with me. I might be a little tall to get under a children's desk, but I could carry it around and use it like an earthquake umbrella. Now, next up, we have a live interview with one of the producers of the College Daze. I'm scared of this lady, and after the break, you're gonna find out why.